The BrahMos is a supersonic cruise missile designed for high-speed delivery of heavy payloads. Yet, as recently as 2023, some US-based defense experts dismissed this joint Indian-Russian project as a wonderful-on-paper asset that lacked actual utility. Those assessments stand in contrast to current sales data. Far from being ineffective, the missile is seeing a surge in global procurement interest. The Philippines has already finalized its purchase. Vietnam is currently negotiating a deal estimated at $650 million, and Indonesia is in the final stages of a $500 to $600 million agreement. In this region alone, export value has already surpassed $1 billion. This interest extends beyond Southeast Asia. Active inquiries are coming from Brazil and Argentina in South America, Saudi Arabia and the UAE in the Middle East, and South Africa. Aside from North America, every major continent is currently represented in the BrahMos order book. This creates a tension between two different realities. If the global arms market is validating the BrahMos through multi-million-dollar contracts, why do reports of its failure continue to circulate among foreign leaders? We are seeing a disconnect. The physical capability of a weapon and its international reputation have become two separate fronts in modern conflict. This surge in sales followed a specific turning point: Operation Sindoor. The deployment provided the first real-world data on the missile's performance in a combat environment. Satellite analysis confirmed that the missile met its technical specifications for speed and payload delivery. The physical damage documented at target sites provided potential buyers with the evidence they needed to move forward with contracts. This success stands in contrast to the JF-17 Thunder, a joint fighter jet venture between China and Pakistan. While marketed as a competitive export, its market performance tells a different story. The JF-17's user base is primarily limited to nations with struggling economies. In Myanmar, the jet's reputation took a hit after reports surfaced of a unit being shot down by local resistance groups. Combined with technical issues reported by Nigeria, the jet has struggled to gain traction in the high-end defense market. Because the JF-17 cannot currently match the sales record or the kinetic performance of its rivals, its backers have augmented their strategy. They are increasingly relying on coordinated information campaigns to challenge the reputation of Indian technology, where they cannot challenge its sales. The strategy has shifted from selling hardware to disseminating narratives. China and Pakistan are now engaged in a persistent information war, targeting the credibility of Indian defense systems. The tactics involve publishing unverified reports and planting claims of combat failure in international media. By saturating the information space with uncorroborated accounts, they aim to create doubt among potential buyers. The impact of these narratives is visible at the highest levels of government. Consider the president of Serbia, Aleksandar Vučić. In a recent public address, President Vučić referenced a claim that a Chinese missile had destroyed India's S-400 air defense system during a border conflict. There was no physical evidence or official report to support this. Despite the lack of verification, a head of state accepted the account as fact. He read the propaganda, lacked the specific context to disprove it, and integrated it into his own public messaging. This demonstrates how information warfare functions. It can undermine a weapon's reputation in the minds of decision-makers, regardless of how the hardware performs on the ground. This reveals a critical vulnerability. India and Russia have produced a functional kinetic asset, but they are currently losing the battle for international perception. Relying on the deals to speak for themselves creates a vacuum. When official channels remain quiet about their successes, it allows adversaries to fill that space with a narrative of failure. When a global leader believes a fabrication, the consequences are concrete. It directly influences future procurement choices, alliances, and trade agreements that govern regional security. To counter this, defense manufacturers must internationalize their communication. Successes must be documented and shared with foreign analysts and leaders before an adversary can frame the story for them. In modern geopolitics, building a high-performance weapon is only one requirement. If a nation does not proactively define its own success, its competitors will use the information space to define its failure.
If you value clarity over chaos, explore more on Clear Lens X.